Hey everyone, Joshua and I are board game experts at Tabletop, and we recommend games in person, but we can't do that right now, so we thought we would force ourselves into your home via the internet, if you will allow us, much like a vampire. And yes, that's what we're gonna do. So when people come in the cafe, they ask for recommendations, and we always start by asking them a few of their favorites. So for this week, I'm pretending that you told me that your favorite game is Risk. Now, if you like Risk, that means you like games that are area control, you like games that are competitive and aggressive, they're not too complicated, and you really want to rub a victory in your friend's face. So with that, here are two games that do those things, but in new and interesting ways, and also maybe don't have the caveats that Risk has. For example, they don't take hours and hours and hours and hours, and sometimes when you lose, you don't know that you're going to lose for an hour or so, which can happen in Risk. So the first one I'm showing you is Cyclades. All right, so in Cyclades, you play as Sparta, Athens, or another group, and you are fighting over control of the Greek Isles. This is only half of the board. It's a very large board, and what you're going to do is the way you win the game is you basically build small buildings and stuff like that, and as you do that, you're going to eventually build a metropolis, and you place them out there on the board. You win the game once you control two metropolis, and you can do that by building them or just going and marching your armies out there and taking someone else's, which is a good way to do it. Now, what's really neat about Cyclades is that if I want to build up my army, or if I want to move my navy, or if I want to build a temple or something like that, I don't just get a pick to do those things. I have to bid and pay tribute to a god that allows me to do that. So every turn, we're going to bid on actions by paying tribute to the gods. So if I want to go ahead and basically move my troops or build up new troops, I need to make sure that I pay the most money to Ares. If I get basically his graces, then I can do that action. If I don't get that action, if somebody outbids me, and then I don't have enough money to outbid them again, I'll get to do something else, but I'm not going to get to do the military stuff that I want to do. And there are other actions too, like building universities and, moving your naval ships and adding more and all that good stuff. So it's really, really cool the way that works. Also, another thing in the game is occasionally you're going to get to control some super cool old-timey mythological creatures. So that's pretty neat. The second game that I wanted to show you guys is a game called A War of Whispers, also known by me as Sneaky Risk. All right, so the way Sneaky Risk is going to work is there are 5 empires in this game. All right, 5 empires. They're all going to war, but you are not playing as, well, first off, also, it's got a round board. That's pretty cool. But yeah, so there are 5 empires, red, green, yellow, blue. They're all going to war, but you are not playing as one of those empires. You are playing as the secret, shadowy groups that are trying to get certain empires to win or lose. You might be a wealthy family or a cult or a bank that has interest in maybe the blue winning the game, or the war, if you will. And nobody knows in the game who wants who to win. That's the big thing. I don't know when I'm sitting across from you if you want green to win, if you want blue to win, if you want yellow to do really bad. Maybe sometimes the things that we want are actually similar. Maybe our goals are completely different from each other. And with that, the neat thing is when I do something in this game, you don't necessarily know why I did it. So if I notice, there are a bunch of blue troops out here kind of in the north, the winter, what would this be? The winter area. Yeah, there we go. The winter area. Empire. That's the word I was looking for. The winter empire. And you notice that I'm starting to build up a bunch of troops here in the nomadic center. Now, I might be doing that because I want to go ahead and, basically take out blue, but maybe what I'm doing is I'm building up all these troops so then I can go ahead and I can march them north, and it'll be a huge battle and lots of troops will die. And the reason I did that was because actually I want green to win, and by doing that, green's sitting up here nice and pretty and not worrying about kind of all the chaos that's happening down here. How do you choose an action in the game? Well, what you're going to do is you send your little spies, just little tokens here. If I am the cult of the rat or something like that, we go around the table sending our spies to the different councils of different empires. So if I want to do something with the green, I'll go ahead and send it to one of the council positions for green. And if I want to go ahead and do something in yellow, I'll send something there. And then once we've placed a couple spies in all the different areas, we just go around this giant board doing those actions. So maybe my green council spot allows me to put some more green pieces out on the board, or maybe it allows me to go ahead and move my troops and so on. It might allow me to collect some of these really cool little cards. And these cards, one of the actions here is Alchemist's Fire. That means I can play this special card and all of a sudden all the surrounding territories burn and destroys all of the the troops and the units in those areas. It's really fun. It plays in 4 rounds. It's about an hour game. It's really good. So definitely check that one out. And now I'm going to pass it over to Joshua.
Thanks, Brady.
No problem, Joshua.
I'm here to talk about the game SCATERGORIES. SCATERGORIES is great. It's classic for a reason. People love it. If you're having a party and you bust out a game, SCATERGORIES is a go-to. But you might be looking for something new, something similar with a similar vibe, a word game, guessy kind of game that is just a little bit more peppy, a little bit more upbeat. So I'm here to show you 2 games that if you like SCATERGORIES, you should check out. The first one's called Speedy Words. And Speedy Words is very similar to SCATERGORIES. You're given a clue, you're given a letter, you need to think of something that fits that. The way that it works is you've got a simple deck of cards. You've got one card that's the key that'll stay face up in front of the table the whole time. It's the categories, and it has a list of icons and tells you what their corresponding categories are. On the other cards, they're double-sided. One side has letters, the other side has categories. So the categories might be object, it might be famous person, animal, different things like that. In this case, the category would be famous person. When you flip out a card, you're going to see the back of the next card has different letters and colors that correspond to it. So in this case, the category is famous person, the color is orange, and the matching letter here, the orange letter, is B. So if you could think of a person who is a famous person who fits this category, whose name starts with the letter B, you shout it out before everybody else. So if you shouted out Barry Manilow before somebody else shouted out Barack Obama, you'd win this card. And you just go through the whole deck until the deck is empty, and whoever wins the most cards wins the game. It's great, it's fun, it takes seconds to learn, and great fun that a lot of people can play as long as everybody can see the cards. There's no real limit to the number of players who can enjoy it. The next game I'm here to show you is a game for up to 7 players called Just One. In Just One, you're going to be cooperating to try to beat your high score. So Just One is a cooperative party game, which is pretty unusual. It's really fun. The way that it works is everybody has these little racks, and they're double-sided. So on one side they can hold a card, and on the other side you can write on them with a dry erase marker. So one player will be guessing each round, and that player won't see the card. Everybody else can see it. And they'll say a number between 1 and 5 that'll declare to the table what number of word they're guessing. So if I were to say word number 4, I don't know that it's Titanic, but all the rest of the table can see that. Everybody else is going to write a 1-word clue on the back of their stand, and I'll close my eyes as the guesser while all of the clue givers compare. And if any 2 players wrote the same clue, they both have to erase their clues, which means in a 6-person game, 1 person's guessing, 5 people are giving clues. If 2 players have written the same clue, instead of getting 5 different clues from each player, I'm only going to get 3 clues, making it harder to guess. Creates a lot of hilarious situations. It's a lot of fun. We've been playing it a lot at Tabletop. Everybody I've taught it to has loved it so far. And so definitely, if you like SCATERGORIES, check it out. We're going to be doing more of these videos, so if there's a game you would like us to recommend games based on, go ahead and leave a note in the comments. If you want to see more videos like this, make sure to subscribe, like, and right now, while I'm recording this video, we're doing social distancing, and our cafe, Tabletop Board Game Cafe, is closed at the moment. So if you'd like to support us, we have a Patreon going on, and there's a lot of stuff on there, podcasts and other fun stuff you can get from us. Go ahead and check the link out in the description. Thanks for watching.